Dr. Mel, you want to maybe just jump into women and how we are conditioned to really just be the giver?
Yeah, this is a topic that definitely resonates with me. This is something that is a daily struggle.
Can you maybe talk about more of how self-worth kind of blocks your receptivity?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like growing up, I was the kid who always wanted to please.
So Mel, can you maybe talk a little bit more on how money is energy, and kind of how people can have that scarcity instead of the abundance, and any examples you have?
I think a big thing that you mentioned, Janine, was belief. And there's certain beliefs around money that
like receive that compliment, there's little ways that you could really just tap into just receiving, asking, and even ask for help. If you feel kind of unaligned or you're not receiving lately that you think you should be receiving, ask for help. Welcome back to another episode of Blissful Beings. We are your hosts, Dr. Mel and myself, Janine. Today we are going to talk about receiving and the fact that it's not just passive, it's truly a practice. So receiving is often misunderstood as a passive state, waiting, wishing, or simply being. But it's truly an active practice. It's embodying awareness, healing, and trust. So on this episode, we're gonna dive deep into why so many women, especially the high-achieving women, struggle to receive the love, support, rest, and even money. And more importantly, how you can train your nervous system to feel safe, to feel abundant, to feel softness and ease. So in this episode, we're really just going to cover why women are conditioned to give and how that blocks our ability to receive, the overfunctioner trap that we get into when you handle it all and you start teaching the world that you don't need help, how your self-worth impacts your receptivity, and how nervous system can really, come into the scarcity mindset and attract that. Money's energy, so obviously what we believe allows us to receive, and the daily practices and journal prompts that we could really dive into. So, Dr. Mel, you want to maybe just jump into women and how we are conditioned to really just be the giver?
Yeah, this is a topic that definitely resonates with me. This is something that is a daily struggle continuously for me, where I catch myself where there's times where I should be stepping back. And I realize on a daily basis that when you try too much or overgive, you actually stunt your growth and the ability to achieve more. Because when you learn simple tips like delegation and trusting your employees, if you're a business owner or a supervisor or somebody in a higher level position, you realize you do accomplish more, even if it's not completely what you may envision the way it would go, and it may be somebody else's way of doing. But by being more willing to allow others to support you, you become much more successful in every aspect of your life, whether it's your relationships, your family life, getting stuff done around your house for your kids, even in the workplace. It will help you on every aspect.
And especially in a leadership role where you feel like you're supposed to be managing and giving to those below you, it could almost feel selfish if I receive, so kind of undoing that, knowing that, things ebb and flow, you give and then you take, it's got to work both ways. Because if you just keep giving, you're going to be stuck. And, that's where I'll dive into the overfunctioner trap. And when you're the one that's always has it handled, people just stop offering you help because you unconsciously block the support. So it becomes a cycle. The more you do, the more you're expected to do. And that's reinforcing that I got it identity, instead of having this openness that, someone can come help you with that task, rather than handling it and putting all that stress on your shoulders. Like knowing that even if you're in a leadership role, like your team is around you to support you. So if you're not feeling supported, there's time to really have that awareness and heal this side of you that's constantly giving, because that's what really ultimately leads to so much stress and burnout. Mel, can you maybe talk about more of how self-worth kind of blocks your receptivity?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like growing up, I was the kid who always wanted to please, always wanted to show that I could be successful or do it myself. Known as more of the independent child, which actually ended up being a burden for me later, because it made me feel like I had to do it myself in order to get that achievement or feel that value. And it really, by being that overachiever, sometimes it could show that you may be somebody who has a little bit insecurity about what you are giving to this world, and sometimes it can make you feel down, and you may not realize, but you're really down and depressed because you're always trying to do that next thing to feel like you're worthy.
100%. 100%. Just having that deep knowing that you're worthy is simply, just because you exist. It doesn't have to have any deeper meaning than that. But now I'll just jump into the nervous system. Nervous system can obviously be something that really has that scarcity attractiveness. So undoing that, right? Because your body might be used to struggle or chaos or the hustle in receiving. And I always state this, that there's a deep belief of I have to work hard for money, and almost like changing that belief of like money comes easily and frequently. Money comes easily and frequently, because your nervous system can be retrained to have that ease and safe place that you're worthy to receive money just because of the knowledge you have, or being doctors, right? There's doctors that get paid bare minimum of like, this is it, or there's doctors that charge a ton for just one appointment. So just having that mindset of, you come with your expertise, and you're worthy of for me in my business, it's like we have a $4.95 application fee, and that application fee used to be $150 when I first started, but now it's like, to even see if we can give you terms and have a conversation and have this analysis and have this financial advice, you need to pay me $4.95. And it's been like a jump of like, this is my value. I don't want to waste my time with people's shopping deals or shopping lenders. It's like, pay the $4.95 and then we'll talk kind of thing. So just really having that ease that you can receive money, like, because if you're constantly like, oh, I have to work so hard for this, I have to work so hard, you're feeding your subconscious, you're feeding everything in your body that you need to work hard for money. And it's simply a belief that's not even real. So it's like unlearning that, right? So Mel, can you maybe talk a little bit more on how money is energy, and kind of how people can have that scarcity instead of the abundance, and any examples you have?
I think a big thing that you mentioned, Janine, was belief. And there's certain beliefs around money that maybe put you more in a scarcity mindset rather than an abundance mindset, where you may feel like those past sayings like money doesn't grow from trees, like you need to really hustle or really save in order to be somebody who has money. When you think like that, you almost lose your perspective or your ability to perceive opportunity when it does arise, because you're so focused on the hustle and the everyday grind. The people that you meet every day that could you could take the time and have a conversation with, and then realize, wow, they opened the doors to you to step to that next level.
Open the door, because there's daily micro practices that you could go through to actually accept receiving. And when someone kind of opens a door, receive, that's an act of receiving, is walking through that door that someone else opened. You didn't even have to touch it. Or when someone says like, you're beautiful, like sometimes people like will come back with like, oh no, I'm not. Like, what? No, receive that shit. Like, don't just like hide and like not ask someone. Like sometimes it's a simple like, hey, can you carry this box in for me? That's like an act of doing it, instead of like just handling everything yourself. It's just so draining. It's like, just ask for help, because the world is truly here to help and like for you to receive, and you just have to know that it's an active practice. So here's some blissful tips to leave you guys too with this episode. There's a 3-minute receiving breath work. It's just a short breath pattern to really open your heart space and bring awareness in the body, to have readiness to receive. Just think of it as, tuning your energetic radio to the frequency that is allowance. And then there's a mirror affirmation ritual where you can look into your eyes and speak loving to yourself as if you were already the woman living in overflow and abundance. And this builds emotional intimacy with the most important source of love, which is you. And then, there's a boundary script that we could do as well. Just learning to say no, but saying no from love. Because I think a lot of people think like, oh, if I say no, like this person doesn't love me. Like, no, you're saying no for love from yourself. And a lot of times people have this fear around no. So detaching from that, knowing that you could say no, and when you need boundaries for yourself. So those are some tips to really just leave you guys with. I hope it's helpful. I have another journal prompt as well. That is, where in my life am I over giving or over performing? In hopes of feeling worthy. So obviously that's a key part. There's a ton of overperformers, and it's okay to be an overperformer, but really have that awareness around, do you need to feel worthy because of your overperformance, or are you doing it because you're receiving and you're in the right flow and aligned? So hopefully that's a good journal prompt as well. Mel, you want to wrap up the episode?
Yeah, no, I think those are great tips and tricks for all of you guys. I would really take the time to listen to those journal prompts and practicing those techniques on a daily basis. And don't even, it might feel awkward writing about yourself in the beginning or doing these kind of affirmation techniques in the beginning, but don't give up. It's a daily practice. And when things do feel challenging or don't feel right, that is actually a good thing. That means you're pushing yourself a little bit outside of your comfort zone, and that's where you'll find the most growth.
It. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Blissful Beings. Make sure that if you find a breakthrough from this episode with receiving, to share, like, comment, tag us. We have an Instagram, Blissful Beings Podcast. Make sure to share this with a friend. We are super grateful and hope this episode resonates with you. Thank you.